Hello everyone and welcome to part 3 of the Acronis series. In this session, Nick Keene from Acronis will be discussing the Acronis Cyber Protect Cloud. Enjoy.
Thank you very much for having me. So our Cyber Protect Advanced packs are add-ons to our core functionality. Now with Acronis, we have this baseline standard product which includes your backup and image recovery, some basic cybersecurity functionalities such as anti-ransomware protection, we've got vulnerability assessment, hardware monitoring, etc. But to make it a complete cyber protection solution, we have these advanced packs that allow our service providers to provide extra functionality to their customers based on what their requirements are. Now, just to take a step back, we look at this from a holistic perspective when it comes to cyber protection. So ideally, you want to sort of offer all the kind of packs, whether that is your advanced security, advanced management, advanced backup, advanced email security, etc. But we do allow this kind of flexibility to offer exactly what you need to your customers. Now, starting from the first base advanced pack, right? We got the advanced security pack. Now, this is one of the core functions of the cybersecurity pack. It elevates the base product from very basic anti-ransomware, anti-malware protection to a full stack antivirus solution. It's a bit more, has a bit more functionality. So we do heuristic and machine learning based detection for viruses, as well as local signature based detection and cloud based detection, because the types of threats that are out there are varied, and you might get some common virus that's well known that gets stopped right away by your signatures, right? But then you might get some zero-day threat that there's no known signature out there, and it's something new behaving in a malicious way, but we need to be able to detect and respond to that as well. So that's why we incorporate a mix of signature and machine learning, artificial intelligence-based detection in our solution. Of course, we also have URL filtering to actually prevent a lot of those threats from coming in, because a lot of threats come in, someone opens an email, clicks on a malicious link, it downloads something, we want to stop it right there before we even go to that malicious link. Sometimes, you go to a dodgy website where there's some dodgy ad in there. It does what's called a drive-by attack. And we've also got exploit prevention. It protects against malware, obfuscation and evasion techniques as well. And that's part of our advanced security pack, right? The great thing about it, and the great thing about all our packs is it's not an additional agent that you need to install. It's not an additional agent you need to manage as well, right? It is part of the single solution that you already have. You've got the Acronis agent installed because maybe you're doing backup already. You can just turn that feature on, and then the components are downloaded and configured, but it's still the same agent and it's still managed in the same pane of glass. That's the real benefit there. It allows you to meet your customers' requirements while offering top level, really good cyber protection or protection for your devices. The next pack that I want to talk about is the advanced management pack, right? This is one of our more popular ones because it contains the patch management functionality, right? Closing the gaps, right? Well, let's take a step back. Part of the standard product is the vulnerability assessment, which just gives you an awareness of your systems, what vulnerable apps are running on those systems. Are there any known vulnerabilities in them? Are there any updates available? Things you need to be aware of on your particular devices. With the patch management on the advanced management pack, that gives you the ability to close those gaps, update those systems, whether it's Microsoft products or third-party Windows applications. Part of that is also integrated into, as part of the complete integration that we have, is the integration into the backup side of things, where we can do a pre-update backup, where we can actually, before we install any patches, we make sure you've got a backup that you can safely roll back to if something goes wrong. So another useful aspect of the advanced management pack is the software inventory, which determines and scans your system and determines what software is actually running on your devices. And this can help you firstly build a baseline right? And help maintain that baseline. So you can see who's installed, what's installed, what new software has been installed, what software has been removed. Has someone removed some software that they shouldn't have? Have they installed some malicious app maybe that came as adware as part of some free software that they downloaded? And then you can actually go ahead and remediate that as well. So you can go in and remove that software from that system. We also have hard drive health monitoring as part of the solution as well. This leverages the tools in Windows and machine learning to actively predict when your drives are going to fail, so that you can proactively either back up more frequently. So you can also go say, okay, my drive's is about a 70-80% chance my drive's going to fail in the next few months. I must go pre-order drives, which is especially problematic in these days where getting hardware is tricky and the timelines are much more extended than they used to be. It takes a while, so you can proactively in advance go in and order devices for replacement. So the next important part of our advanced packs is our advanced backup pack. The advanced backup elevates the sort of the normal image and file level backup that we've got in our standard pack to allow you to target enterprise level workloads where you have clusters of SQL or clusters of Exchange servers, and you need to back them up in a cluster-aware manner. We also then support things like Oracle database with that as well, so you can back up your Oracle database environments, and the support for SAP HANA. Another important aspect of that is the continuous data protection, which is a very cool feature, which allows you to back up your critical files and folders, so those important files and folders in between your scheduled backups. So you might back up your entire machine once a day, but you might be working on a file during the course of the day and your hard drive crashes, and now you've lost all that work during the day. So the continuous data protection helps you avoid that eventuality, where we can monitor specific files or folders, or we can monitor an application that's running. So maybe something like Microsoft Word or Excel, you're working on those documents. As soon as you save it, that document is then backed up immediately to the cloud or to wherever your backup location is. Another cool feature of the advanced backup pack is the off-hosted data processing, which allows you to designate a specific machine to do various tasks like backup replication, backup validation, cleanup tasks, so you can use it to clean up old backup locations, as well as convert to VM. And the two ones I want to touch on that I think have the most value is the backup validation and the conversion to VM. So the backup validation allows you to validate a backup independently. So you use a separate machine to actually validate your backups, either by doing a check on the validity of the data, or by creating a virtual machine on your hypervisor. It spins up that virtual machine, tests that it boots, shuts it down, and then sends you a notification, okay, well, did this task succeed successfully, or did I fail and there's something wrong with your backup? So we validated that backup. The other is conversion to VM, where we can actually take a backup and convert it to a virtual machine on your hypervisor. And that can be it can start off as a physical or a virtual machine. And you can use it as a disaster recovery platform as well. So you can take a backup from one location, replicate it to another, convert it to a standby virtual machine in your secondary location, and have it ready and waiting for you to go if the original machine fails. It'll continuously do that as it backs up on one side. It'll copy it, replicate it to the other side, and then you can convert it to the virtual machine on that side. It's a very cool functionality, and it's included as part of the advanced backup pack. You can also obviously export your backups to VHDX or ESXi files as well. If you want to just spin it up on your laptop or workstation and say, okay, I just want to test if this works, you can test it up, maybe extract some data from an auditing perspective on a non-live machine. Right, now you can then run some tests, maybe even work with it. Someone's got a dev environment that needs to be a clone from the original one. You can do that. So there's a lot of functionality that comes with the advanced backup pack as well. The next one is probably my favorite, is the disaster recovery platform, because I think there's a lot of utility here. What this does is it allows you to offer disaster recovery to your customers, right? What we do is we create a disaster recovery platform for you, where you can simply turn on that functionality for a machine that you are backing up to the cloud. That machine gets converted into a or a standby virtual machine gets created in the Acronis disaster recovery site that's based on that original machine, right? And then when something goes wrong, you can just immediately spin up that virtual machine directly in the cloud from the latest backup or any recovery point that you might have in the cloud. It works very similar to the conversion to VM, but this is in the cloud, which means that you don't have to have your own infrastructure, right? You can just have your primary servers and then your disaster recovery servers in the cloud. And on top of that, we've also got some connectivity options available. So we actually create a VPN gateway that you can connect to. So you can link your primary site to your on-premise site, rather, to your VPN, to the VPN to the cloud side, and ensure that you have connectivity to your VPN, your VPS, your virtual servers in that site. So when you do fail over, you don't have to go ahead and try and connect through other methods to the disaster recovery site. You've got connection to that disaster recovery cloud site. Another cool feature of Acronis Cyber Cloud and the advanced packs is the email security solution that we have. It's powered by Perception Point, which is one of the leaders in email security in the market. And we offer this to our partners to offer to their customers through the Acronis Cyber Cloud platform. And it's a full email security solution, right? Offers anti-spam protection, anti-phishing protection, business impersonation protection, does full antivirus scanning, leverages threat intelligence to analyze the URLs in your emails as well. And so it offers that extra level of protection, especially today when a lot of people are working remotely. Most of their communications is done through email. And we've all had spam and phishing attempts and everything that goes on. We all know what it's like to be bombarded with the threats out there that try and get you through your email. And so adding that level of protection is essential, and it's easy to do through this platform as well. So the advanced file sync and share is part of the an add-on to the file sync and share service that's part of Acronis Cyber Cloud. And this adds some of the functionality from the Acronis Cyber Notary service into the file sync and share service. So you can digitally sign documents or prove their authenticity with our Notary service, which which you can sign files in the Ethereum blockchain to prove their validity at a later stage. And you can also, as I said, digitally sign them, so you can use e-signatures as part of that platform as well. So you can create a contract, share it with other people to digitally sign as well. And it's all stored and controlled through the file sync and share platform as well. So what we often see is, Acronis was historically a backup vendor, right? So we see a lot of people start with the backup side of things. Now, backup is very important and very useful, and it's one of the core pillars of what we consider cyber protection. Because if you do not have data to recover from, right, then no matter how much other protection you have, things can slip through. You don't have that final backstop of having something that you can actually recover back to at the end of the day. And even if you do have a backup, right, if you have nothing else protecting you, you can at least roll back to a working state with your backup, right? So that's a very useful place to start, right? But from the rest of it, we see a lot of adoption in the advanced security and the advanced management side of things, because a lot of service providers are looking for an easy-to-use patch management solution that they can protect their customers' workloads on. And with security being an important part of cyber protection, right? Firstly, we started with our anti-ransomware protection called Active Protection. Now with our full antivirus stack, that is the next aspect that we see a lot of people adopting within our platform. So we've got a lot of exciting things that are coming out in the course of this year. Some of it I can't mention in much detail, but two of the most exciting things, two of the features that I'm most excited about that are coming very soon is our endpoint detection and response pack, This is going to be an advanced pack that you can then leverage as part of the solution, and our advanced data loss prevention pack. The exciting thing about the EDR pack is that it's going to empower our partners to offer managed security services in a way that's simple to use and easy to they can do without having to do a lot of security training, right? So it becomes a very big value add that they can add to their portfolio while increasing the security of their customers, and without having to invest heavily in security training on their side. The DLP pack is also very useful, right? It's data loss in the environment, so data theft, people taking out data, malicious actors, right? So taking a step back, one of the big things we see with the ransomware attacks is people extracting data, right? They encrypt your data, but then they also take it off off site, and then they threaten to release that data to the public if you don't pay them. And so we will want to monitor not just insider threats who are maybe trying to steal customer lists and stuff like that. We also want to monitor for any data that's being extracted off systems as well, and so that's where the DLP functionality comes in.
Nick, thanks so much. There's a lot to look forward to, and there's a lot of offerings. Thanks for your time today.
Thank you very much.